What's going on? What's up, everybody? So, gonna get started here in about a minute. Let everybody jump in here, and then we're just gonna dive through and get everything rocking and rolling. So I'm excited for this training. Get some things going here. Have some fun this morning. But I'll wait till some of you guys come in here. I'm gonna give it about another minute, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Got a lot of content to cover today, so hopefully you guys are gonna take good notes, review this video a bunch of times, but have fun doing what I'm gonna teach you. All right, I'm gonna give it like 30 more seconds. Get people in, and let's do this thing. You guys having a good morning so far? Starting off a Thursday nice in that kind of aspect. So good morning to everybody popping in right now. We're gonna get started here in 10 seconds. Give it a little bit past a minute to get going, and then we will cover some content. Just drop your questions in there, then when you got it, get some things. If you got questions on some stuff, we'll answer those a little bit later, right? So let's get going, guys. We're going to talk about sales funnels today. So when I think about sales funnels and what I cover today is really just the main four key principles of social media and how you can use it. There's really the four main platforms are what you've got are Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. But what happens is, and this is the biggest mistake that I see in the real estate community, is that you guys are just all over the board. And if I could give you the best advice on what to do is master one thing and then go to the next, and then master one thing and go to the next. And the reason I want to explain this and I want to start this off this way is I've had some really good conversations and some really great conversation with realtors, and right now, a lot of people are struggling in the real estate community because, number one, they used to run a ton of Facebook ads, which died. Number two, they buy all these leads from people and they're making 5,000 phone calls when they're calling the wrong people versus just calling the right people. But in real reality, when you do this, and I explain to them, and these are big teams and they're literally crushing right now because they're not making any money, is look, if you build out the right audience on any platform you want it to, you just need to understand the full purpose of what the platforms are. But what I want you guys to do is, as you're doing it, have fun with your people. Make some mistakes. It's going to be fine if you make mistakes, because when you make mistakes, it means you're trying, and then when you try, you know what you need to fix. So it really just simplifies the process. And what I mean by that is, guys, it's a key word. When you're building out any system that I'm going to go over today, always write next to stuff like, how can I have fun? And if you're like, if I fuck this up, we're fine, okay? It's going to be okay, because we learn from those types of things, right? So what I want to do is I want to start with one of the big platforms that's out there, and we're going to start with YouTube. So when I think about YouTube, this is what happens is you guys go to these events, you go to things, and you listen to these people and are like, oh yeah, get on all this stuff, and they're telling you, so don't be a sheep. Don't be the people that are like, oh my God, it's so great. You've got to understand, you've got to invest the time. What a lot of people don't tell you is how long it took them to get there, how long it took them to get the amount of subscribers, how long it took them to get all these views, what they had to do, how much money they paid to do it. And that's the problem with our community, is people aren't telling you the truth. Now, you guys saw my coaching platform that have been here. I grew my stuff organically, and it blew up just like that. Why? Because I built the audience on the platforms that I wanted to use. It doesn't mean that necessarily when we go over all these sales funnels that you've got to use them all. Just focus on ones that are your strengths. So when I say focus on the ones that are your strengths, it's real simple when you do this. Think about where your first level in business is. And typically, as a realtor, loan officer, whatever it is, loan officer's probably, 15, 20 million in a year. Realtor is probably, 5 million a year. So what I want you to do is think of the activities that you did to get to that level. What we do when we go and we think we need to get to the next level to where we want to go and double our business or triple our business is we take advice from all these people that we're listening to, instead of what we really needed to do is take advice from what got us from level 1 to start level 2. Master those things, focus on those, have fun doing those, and it's like YouTube. So when I think of YouTube, I think of this is your education platform for your clients. To be able to understand what you do. This is where you're going to show them your value. This is where you're going to show them basically how you're going to get them through the process of buying and selling a home. So it's the buy or sell. Now, when you build out the YouTube channel, yes, it is now the #1 search engine. It overranks Google. But what I want to say is, one of the biggest things that we always talk about in our industry is these two words: I'm busy. And the reason I wanted to start with YouTube today is because this is how you get time back. Because if you have a video that covers all the questions that you keep getting over and over and over and over, you never have to repeat yourself. So it's the same thing with my training platform where I talk about it and I say, guys, people are always like, man, you're so efficient. You've got, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients and you're traveling and you're doing all this stuff. How can you manage it? Because I have 0 employees. Okay, I have 0 employees. I don't have an assistant. I don't have somebody that helps me. What I realize is that if I record a great video like I'm doing now for you guys and educating you, I don't have to repeat myself 4,000 times. I just direct you in a situation and say, so if you've got a client that's like, hey, what are the first steps in buying a home? Hey, what's a home warranty? Hey, who's your lender? Who are you in general? These videos are great to get time back so you can create out your playlists. So when you're doing this and you're doing your education, you want to create your playlists that basically are your landing strips about how you can do it. But what I love about these is then you can create little links and text apps. So let's say somebody just texts you right now. You've got one of your clients and they say, hey, I'm getting ready to purchase. What are the first steps? Now you're thinking, gosh, I'm in the middle of dinner. I got to stop what I'm doing. No, you don't. If you understand how to build out sales funnels and create efficiency in your business, you could have a pre-templated text that goes out and says, thank you so much for reaching out. Here are the first steps that you're going to need to get starting on the qualifying process. Please watch this video that explains everything. So you send that and you send them a link. See, what happens is we don't load things to YouTube. Well, once you load something to YouTube and it's processed, you get what's really awesome. It's called a link. Because let's say that video that you wanted to send was 20 minutes long that explained that. So every client that you onboard, you've got to take it and it's 20 minutes every time, 20 minutes every time, 20 minutes every time. But you're repeating yourself. The definition of insanity is doing something over and over and over and expecting different results. So it doesn't really work that way. So when you really think about this and you say, well, where do I start? What videos? So I always get this, what videos? What videos should I do? What are the top videos I should do? And I say this, every time a client asks you a question right now going forward, write it down. It down, okay? And the reason that you write it down is because those are the one videos that you need to do right away. Because once you have that video, you know another client's going to have the same question. Then what you do with the video and how YouTube is great is you create calendar efficiency through this. So you get a calendar, and you guys can drip this through your CRM. There's some great CRMs out there that you can do this with. That's why I love CRMs on just that aspect. But you need to ask for something. We talk about that in the training. But now you know it. Let's say, okay, they get pre-approved. And typically you know within the first week, 2 weeks, whatever, they're going to have an additional question. Okay, how do we start looking for homes? What homes do I need to look for? What's the process of this? Well, you can have it set up in your calendar as a reminder because here's the thing. We forget, guys. We're forgetful. It doesn't matter how much we think of knowledge we have. I forget things all the time. But now what you can do is you can set them and you can be like, hey, guys, here's the next step. This is step 2. This is step 3. This is step 4. This is step 5. And you're educating them along the way because the #1 consumer complaint in the real estate community is this. And this is what we were all taught wrong. All other people and coaches will say, you need to be the liaison. You need to make them reach out to you. You need to make them do this. Well, we're in a fast-paced world. And you guys get annoyed if you don't get an answer right away. People just get pissed, right? But if you can eliminate that process and have basically a training platform like you can build out on YouTube and walk them through the process so they're not waiting. Because what if it's 10 o'clock at night and they're going, man, I really wish I could call John right now and ask him all these questions. Oh, wait. I remember when they onboarded me correctly with that video, it said, go to my YouTube channel, watch my playlist, and it's going to walk you through everything you have that you need there. Because we're impulsive, guys. That's just how we're built now. We want it now. We want it fast. We want the results there. But if you slow down, so here's the thing that I love about what you build out YouTube correctly. Have your branding there. Obviously put your logo through all the videos. Make sure your branding's there. Your call to actions to create the conversations. But guys, this is where you get time back. This is the number one platform that will make you more money than anything. And people, and I know I say, oh, Facebook's where I make my money. That no. Listen to me. Video is where you make your money. And it doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be theatrical. Like, I'm in my studio. My whiteboard's crooked right now on purpose to let you know it's okay. My lighting's here that I got to the side. It's important to get that you're just getting across the message, because when you get time back, you can have fun in your life again, but then you can go lead prospect on another platform. But what it does, and this is where it's super, super, super important. It's kind of like, you're in my coaching and you do this, but if I say, hey, I've got this great training platform, and there's no training platform, I'm like, but it's coming. Now, when they sign up with you to be a client, you're like, oh, the experience is going to be amazing. I'm going to walk you through everything. But they keep calling you 10 o'clock at night, and you're like, dude, like, what's the deal? Well, that's what you signed up for. You can eliminate that stuff, get your time back. With the time, you can take days off, go have fun. You can lead gen through the other stuff. You can make it a better, keyword, experience for the client, because the number one complaint is they don't know what's going to happen next. Now they do. There's no what ifs. There's no, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on, because now they're going to tell their people when they say, how was it working with such and such? Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. Like, we could be 10 o'clock laying in our bed and we had a question, and we literally could go to their platform, their YouTube channel, or their website that they build out that had the tutorials or whatever it is with video, and they have all the questions that they've been asked there. And it's very accommodating to us. You can have your forms there, anything. Walk them through everything. Like, hey, click this button will do this. This button will do this. Mimic what I've built for my clients and stuff like that, and implement it into your business. But it's understanding, get in there, edit the video. It doesn't have to be Chris. You don't have to have this high-end stuff. I edit most of my video and use my iPhone because it's got a great camera. So slow down on the process about how that is, but believe in yourself. Now, one of the things with YouTube that I've always found where people with video, they go, John, and I ask this all the time, hey guys, how many of you are scared doing video? And they're, oh my gosh, John, I'm so scared. I'm so scared doing video. And I say, here's the coolest thing about it. This is the greatest thing about video. You look the same and sound the same whether you're getting recorded or not. So just get the fuck over it. Let's go. Because if you get more time back, you can have fun in your life, and you can do the things that you want to do. And that's what it's all about. We got in this industry. So think about this. You got in this industry, obviously, to make money, but now if you have the passion to where you're going to help people, well, if you don't have time, and you always say you're busy, then you're really not fulfilling what you're wanting to do. Say, my goal is to help people. No, your goal is, I'm busy, I'm too busy, I'm busy, I'm too busy. You accomplish that goal. But if you use YouTube and video to process of building it out of that funnel, guess what? Now you've got all the time back in the world to help as many people as you want and build it out. And the results are there. I mean, it's totally there. So think about your YouTube. As you build it out, just build out the platforms. Don't overthink it. Have fun with it, guys. You guys rush stuff so much to get a result. Put your videos on there. And you'll ask, well, what kind of, do all the evergreen videos. Start at one and go all the way down the list. Start with your clients asking questions. Film that video. So what I would recommend for you guys is if you film one video a week, so just one video a week, it could be 10 minutes. So you're talking 30 minutes of your day to get set up and film a video, load it to YouTube, all that kind of stuff. At the end of the year, if you did this way, you'd have 52 videos. If you keep waiting every week that goes by, you don't have a video. You don't have a video. What you're not understanding is you're losing clients. And that is what sucks, because when you have more clients, they have more friends. They make you more money. They create the experience and the lifeline that you guys want. That's where you get your referrals. So build it out that way. So the next one that I want to go over, which this is my number one money maker of where it is and where I build out my audience. And this is the fun part about it with the training is we've got what is Facebook. And there's so many people that talk about, oh, I need to be on Instagram. We're going to go with the next. Oh, I need to be on this. No. If you just understand where your lead source is coming from, just master that. Now, when we build out Facebook, like I talk about, this is an organic platform. So this means that these are raw people, but it's your CRM because 17 times a day, somebody goes on here and you can do it. You get to handpick your friends. So you get to handpick your friends. You get to put posts out to all your audience. You get to engage with them. You get to like their stuff. You can comment on their posts. And the best thing about Facebook, guess what, guys? This is your moneymaker right here. This is the number one moneymaker for your CRM. Is you can build out a private client group. And when you listen to some of the things that you see in the groups or the stories that I put out, people get more engagement right here with your clients through a CRM, making it about them. And they struggle with it. They always say, well, what's the content that I need to put in here? Make it about them. Do raffles, do giveaways, do client appreciations. There's good stuff about the market right now. You know, if rates are good, whatever it is. But if you make it salesy and you're putting all your listings in and you're doing that kind of stuff, you're going to lose an audience. So when you think about Facebook, yeah, we post once a day. But what you don't understand, guys, is these platforms I'm giving you are free. Favorite four-letter word other than sold in real estate is free. You guys want free stuff. I want free. I want free. But free means that you can get results if you are consistent. So when you're consistent, the one thing is you post once a day, but now that what has evolved so much and people view more than anything are stories. 4 to 6 times a day, put stories out there. Now, the other thing that comes in, everything that I talk about here, you guys are like, well, what kind of content do I put in my stories? I don't know. What do you do during the day? You drinking coffee right now? Are you watching me? Are you watching me right now? If you're watching me right now on this, take a picture of you watching this on your phone, screenshot it, whatever, put it into your stories right now, tag me, and say, learning new techniques to help my clients out. I love what I do. Now what you're not doing, okay? This is the difference. You're not trying to just sell people. You're letting people know, I'm a realtor, I'm a loan, I do title, I do whatever it is, right? But you're reminding your audience without saying, if you know of anybody looking to buy or sell, please use me. Now you're reminding your people and your audience, look, knowledge is power, and I want to make this the best experience for my clients ever. And then, so here's the next technique that I want you to do with Facebook, and you can do the same thing with Instagram. I want you guys, after you post that story, if you take a screenshot and you put it out there and you say, learning, new knowledge, then I want you to take your camera on your phone, and I want you to do a story right here. So you do your stories, and you'd be like, hey guys, I just want to tell you to have a wonderful day. I learned so many new things. I'm excited to open up my client appreciation group, and I want you to be a part of it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's go. But that's only for the people that have set up the group. So you got to set your groups up. You got to get going. You got to talk about it. You got to let people know that, hey, this is where it is. This is what's going on. But guys, this is what you don't understand. It's free opportunity. So when you decide not to make a post every day on Facebook, when you decide not to do stories, do not be pissed off that other people are taking your business because you had an opportunity. You woke up this morning. You touched your phone. You did nothing with it. Do not be mad when that does not ring. When it does not slide in your DM saying, I have a referral. When a text message is not going out. Because if you are not telling your people on your platforms what you do, how you help them, who you are, what you can do for them, what your hobbies are, what your habits are, what your activities are, what your interests are. Do not be mad that you have no leads and why you got to go buy leads and why things have slowed down in your business, because there's 3 things that you need. Consistency, be present, and be proactive. That's all you need, and you can, the sky is the limit. And Facebook is the organic platform where you get a hand-picked, so people are always like, oh, I need a CRM, I need clients. Dude, this is the craziest thing. You legit get to hand-pick people that you can be friends with. You get to hand-pick them. Like, if you don't want to be friends with this guy because they post stupid shit, guess what? You can delete them. It's the most amazing thing ever. And when I talk about Facebook and stuff, here's the biggest mistake that I see in the real estate community. Why are you friends with other realtors on your social media platforms? I'm going to talk about where to put them here in a minute. Why are you friends with them? You're putting your competition on your page when that could have been a consumer or a friend of a friend that would refer you business all the time. Not that one deal that they give you in 5 years and you're like, oh my gosh, you get referrals from all these realtors. Really, you don't. If you only get 3, 4, 5, 6 referrals a year, dude, you're missing so much of an opportunity from your clients because you're putting the wrong people on your platforms. That's crazy to me. No realtor is going to be like, you know what, Sally, that cat house that you have there is so beautiful. I literally am going to sit this $700,000 listing out because I think Fluffy deserves a new thing. Hell no! They're on your platform, stealing your friends of friends that are commenting on your shit. They're adding your personal friends. Why? because they think this is the one thing that people fail at. The only one thing that you guys fail at is consistency. If you are consistent, you've seen the results. I have a guy that just joined 2 months ago. He's making $65,000 this month. He said, when I started with you, I was so inconsistent. I have been in the training every day. He goes, I use the excuse to you every day. I'm busy. He goes, instead I said, I could hear you in the background of my head. He goes, and he's like, knock that shit off. That's what he could hear. And he goes, and I got into the training and I started implementing. He goes, it was crazy because the way that I was asking for business, I had to hear you say, because this is where knowledge is power, how you presented it. And I watched you, and he goes, you never just ask somebody like, hey, do you know anybody who wants to sign up? Do you know anybody who wants to sign up? Do you know anybody who wants to sign up for coaching? Do you know anybody who needs coaching? You're like, dude, you just put shit out there and it comes. And he goes, so I just said, hey, if you enjoy what he did and it was a great experience and I was able to help you, do you have 4 people that you know that could possibly use my service? Well, if you did a good job and the experience was there and the value was there and you had fun doing it with it, guess what? That's how you do it. And you can ask for it the same way on this platform. Let them know what you do. Content that you post on your Facebook is just who you are. If you're friends with me, guess what? I don't post anything about signing up for my company. I put it in my stories. You've got to understand where your sales funnels come from, where you're going to generate your leads. My conversations come right here. I would say 99% of my conversations when people ask something come through my stories because they slide through my DMs. Because I'm putting out content there that they're viewing. And if it's relative to them, then guess what? They're like, oh, I'll ask about it. I put stories out just yesterday, and I don't do it every day, but just the other day, I had 4 leads that came through last night, and 2 of them were like, I'm signing up today. They're like, dude, this is insane. But I said, here's the crazy thing. This is what you don't understand. People are watching you. They're watching what you're doing. So this person, I'm going to tell you how sales funnels work. Consistency. Consistency are number 1. And back in January, they said, oh, tell me about your coaching. I'd love to sign up. So the message that I got last night was, hey, how's the coaching like what's in it? I go, nothing's changed other than I build out a new platform. It's the same stuff. And if you do what I tell you to do, the results are insane. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, but it's the same thing. Like, it's the same process. We've got to get people to move. But guess what? If I didn't post that story, I wasn't consistent, I wasn't present, but I wasn't proactive in my business, asking for business in the right way through one of my sales funnels, guess what? That conversation would never have happened. We cannot sit back and be like, I'm just not going to post today because I'm just going to be on my phone all day and just scroll through shit and never make a post. I'm not going to make a story today because I don't know what to post. Dude, if you don't know what to post, you're boring. Like, that's when you need to get a hobby, habits, interests, activities. If you say, look, I'm really boring, no, you're not boring. You just don't know how to have fun. So that's why I would say, go have fun. Go try something. Like, maybe you don't really understand, like, going to coffee, going for a drive in your car, walking outside, doing a garden, planning all this stuff. This is what people want to know for your sales funnels. They want to know who you are. What are they getting when they work with you? They know that you're going to represent them in purchasing a home or sell a home. But who are you and what you get is really important on this platform with Facebook, because this is going to be your moneymaker. This is where most of your business and referrals are going to come from. So understand Facebook, get into training, build out your right platforms, make sure your content debit, really understand, look, this is a whole big surface of all these things that you can do with Facebook. So now let's go to the next one. The next one I want to talk about is sales funnels, which is this one's kind of my little playground that I like to mess around with. This is Instagram. Instagram, okay? I like to call Instagram called Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Where all the people that don't make it, that think that they're like, this is where I say it's kind of like Old Town Scottsdale when all these kids go out. And I said, there's more $30,000 millionaires in my life. They got all this fancy shit on, they're wearing all these nice clothes and taking pictures next to these cars and out there, and girls got half their clothes on, dudes got half their clothes on, guys live this life that they think is there, and they're all dipshits, is what I think. But if you build the right audience on this and you do the right followers and you know how it all works, you can make some money off it. I get a lot of business opportunities, but it's different. So on this platform, I get a lot of realtors, but they still DM me through Facebook. But I get a lot of business people, business companies that reach out to me to do consulting. But this is a non-organic. Non-organic,
Like organic is, look, that's real, that's right, that's real people. Non-organic means a lot of people buy followers, buy things. They don't understand how Instagram works. You know, back in the day, you could do the bots where they auto-respond. If somebody follows you, you could do a message to them. They shut all that off because people complain so much. Instagram's a lot of spam, if you want my personal opinion on how it works. I've got somebody that manages mine just to push it out to an audience. What you don't understand with Instagram is understanding your cell phone. It's kind of the same principle of Facebook, other than I put different content on Instagram and different content on Facebook. So if you guys don't understand, follow me on Instagram and be friends with me on Facebook. You're going to see that there's a lot of posts that never make it from one side to the other. There's stories that never make it. Now there's some, but not all of them make it. And the reason is because one platform's for one thing's for another. Now, one of the biggest things that I love Instagram for, you can't post motivational quotes, but I put them up in my stories. And the most ones that get the most reactions and stuff like that, that's what I know that I'm going to put on my Facebook as a content post for a post, a meme, a funny quote, or whatever it is, a motivational quote. But if you do that on Instagram, so understand Instagram. When Instagram was built, it was 100% just for photos, to post photos. Then they evolved into video. Then they made it to where you couldn't do a video longer than 2 minutes. Then they evolved. Then they added IGTV. Then they added stories. So stories started on Instagram versus Facebook because that's what they wanted. They were testing it out. And I think Instagram's got better editing tools for when you do your stories. So if you start there, download it to your camera roll and reload it. What you don't want to do is share and tap that button that shares it to both platforms, because what we do wrong with Facebook, Instagram, and that is you typically have the same friends and the same followers. And so if you're posting the same content, it's kind of annoying as shit, to be honest with you. So what you do is you kill your engagement. But non-organic means it's just not a real platform. Like, you can't on Facebook go out there and just like buy Facebook friends. You got to go find them. You got to accept it. With Instagram, shit, man, there's accounts, and I've done it just to show people, like, dude, this is what you do. But my followers that I got were actual real followers. Where a lot of people don't get that, and how Instagram works is different from Facebook. So the way I built my Instagram is I wanted to ping 24 hours a day. And the reason is it's different. It's a different platform. People more on Instagram, and so I have a lot of people that are like, dude, you get a lot of likes from people like randomly in all these different countries. I'm like, absolutely I do. But do you know how many cool people I've met that live in I'm in Australia, in England, and some China people, you know, that it's awesome. They speak English or whatever. They had conversations like, oh my gosh, like how, like, you know, with all the crisis that goes on, they have conversations, or how's it going for you? I mean, I've got people that, you know, in Argentina. I mean, all over the world. That's really cool. Facebook I built with people that I knew were going to be my clients or close friends. That's it. And Instagram, I love everybody that follows me. I want to build it out there. But it's the same principle. Your cell phones are in your posts, and when you post, it's here it is. It's 3 to 4 times a week on a post. You don't have to post. You don't have to be every day on it. But what you need to be every day on is your stories. So this is where people run into struggle. They say, well, content, John. Well, if I can't share the same content on Facebook and Instagram for my stories, what do? You need to be more creative. This is why I said I put a lot of like my quotes, my memes and stuff like that to get them out there to see where I get my reactions. I do more poll questions on Instagram to see content that I could post, and all these lead to my sales funnel. So I'm finding out information. So what you need to understand is every activity you're doing, you're generating one thing, and this is what's super important for your business. You're generating data. When you have data, you can move your business any direction you want. You can gather information, you know what's going on, you know what you're getting engagement in. So this is where I tell people, I say, look, we've gone over YouTube, we've gone over Facebook, we've gone over Instagram. If you're not really asking your clients the questions when they actually create conversation, you say, hey, where did you find me up? Where did you look me up? What platform did you like most? Where did you like to see me? Then how the hell do you know where you need to be? Like, a lot of people that I know, I mean, that are followers that are where I live, I'm not friends with them on Facebook, but on Instagram, the one thing my stories there are different from Facebook. They go, we love your stories. And I'm like, you do? I'm like, because sometimes I get people that are like, holy shit. But they're like, dude, that's it. We never know what's coming next in the story. Like, where some people are just so like plain Jane and they're repetitive. So this is where you lose your audience on any of these sales funnels. If you're just repetitive doing the same shit over versus like spicing it up a little bit, you don't know what you're going to ruffle. You don't know what you can move. But they say, we love watching your stories because, like we said, you don't know what's coming next. It could be a great picture of your kids. And then the next thing you're going, hey, motherfuckers, what's going on? You know, or, hey, oh, this is a beautiful flower arrangement. Oh, I'm eating again. You know, it's just one of those things where you guys really don't understand. It's have fun in the process about what you're doing, and that's really where you can evolve in your business. But it comes down to the same thing. Consistency. Well, people, the number one question, they go, gosh, John, there's all this information, there's all these things. Look, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. If you wanted my personal opinion, the first two platforms I would start with would be Facebook and YouTube. The reason being is Facebook's more organic. You can handpick it, you build out your CRMs, you can create your private groups, so basically that's a great place to put your clients. YouTube's the thing that's going to get you back. Now, if you just got time and you want to play and you want to see some other things, you want to build some people across the nation, let realtors follow you here. Who cares? Just don't follow them back. But they're going to do it through the hashtags. So how you get engagement is through the hashtags and stuff like that. It's through the, tagging in locations, tagging in your stories, tagging in your posts. One of the things you do not want to do in both Facebook and Instagram is tag a lot of people in your posts. Tag them in your stories. Now, this is where sales funnels work, where you guys are missing the opportunity. Is I have a lot of clients, and some of my personal clients, I say, hey, how was your week? And they're like, oh man, it was so good, I've got all these deals. I'm like, no shit. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I wouldn't know. And they're like, what do you mean I wouldn't know? I'm like, because you don't tell anybody anything. How are people supposed to know you do real estate or that you're helping somebody or this? So this is the number one thing I would implement into your business today. Number one thing. If you are out with clients and you are seeing homes, stop doing this. Stop taking fucking video of the home going, look at this crap. Put yourself in the video and talk to your people so they can see you. Second thing I would do, if you're with clients, and this is what I tell them, I always say, did you show homes to people this week? They're like, yeah. I said, I wouldn't know. They're like, what do you mean? I said, why have you not taken a selfie with your clients and put it in your stories going, super excited to help my buyers, super excited to help my sellers, super excited to help these guys get the loan process going, and tag them in your stories. Because guess what? When you tag somebody in their stories, they get a notification and they have a choice. They can put it on their story newsfeed or not. But guess what? You not taking photos with your clients when you are out with them. This is a huge missed opportunity. Their friends of friends do not know who you are. Now this is the sales funnel, guys. This is the number one activity I would do. When you're out there with them and you tag them in your stories and you're doing these things, their friends are now going to see your name. And we're all nosy. Guess what? We'll click on it and be like, who's this person to tag them? Oh my gosh, they're buying a house. Who's their realtor and tag it? This is what's important about it. Because when you send that person that is their close friend a friend request, or you try to follow them on Instagram, very important. Now they know who you are. So it's not a warm friend request. It's not a cold friend request or a cold follow. They're like, oh yeah, this is their realtor. We saw them in their stories. This is the missed opportunity that you guys are not taking a part of. This is the number one sales funnel of where I generate all my leads. Think about this earlier in the training. I said, take a photo of me, put me in your stories. Well, if you're friends with other realtors, they follow you because a lot of you haven't deleted them all. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, okay. Oh, what's John's story doing? What's this doing? It's the same process. I'm teaching that. But what did I do? I asked for it. I was proactive. You have to be proactive in your business. You can even be like, when I take this story and you're doing it through Facebook or Instagram, say, hey guys, let's take a photo. I'm going to put this on my stories. And they're like, okay. And if you're not following your friends, hey, I'm going to tag you in the stories. And you say, oh, don't forget to share that to your story because this is really fun, huh? And if you're that way versus going, hey guys, I'd really love for you to share this to your story so all your friends know who I am. So when I slide in their DMs like a used car salesman, they're not going to be like, oh, I don't know who that is. Instead, you can be like, so this is why I tell you guys, you can have so much fun doing these activities and sales funnels and that kind of aspect. But what you have to do is, guess what? You have to be present in your business. You have to have fun doing it. You have to build out all the cool stuff that you're doing and say, look, this is going to be good for me. It's beneficial. So Instagram's here. Make your posts. Do your stories. Don't understand the hashtag. Build out your brand. All you need is one account here. Make it a business account. You don't need several Instagrams. You don't need an Instagram for your real estate. You don't need an Instagram for your personal. It's one. If you follow me, I got one account. I do all my business, all my personal through there. So to simplify the process And make it fun, guys. That's the cool thing about it. Make it like an experience for your clients and do that. Now, we're going to go into the last platform, and I'm going to cover this one real quick. This is the funny one about this one, right? So this is what I call it. It's linked in, right? That's what I pretty much think about this platform. Okay? Right there. Crap. LinkedIn used to be amazing. It was all by Microsoft. You used to push out for demographics and things like that. And you could, you can have your doctors, your attorneys, your dentists and stuff, business. But what they turned this into is a classified ad job recruitment place. And where people just post up. Yeah, go ahead. I would say post on LinkedIn as much as you want. Put out all your stuff about, if you want to put content on real estate that's going to push it out, do it all right here. If you're friends with me on LinkedIn, I never post on it. Because everybody that slides in my DMs is a used car salesman. Oh, I had somebody the other day like, oh, I think we could do great together. I think we could benefit each other. I'm like, I don't really think so, to be honest with you. And I said, well, what are your numbers? They're like, oh, I sell about $2 million to $3 million a year in real estate. And I'm like, and I'm killing it. And I'm like, dude, like, why are you in my game? Like, why are you trying to sell me? Like, go do your own thing. And that's where LinkedIn lost. It's great for push out for analytics. You can post whatever. Hashtags work there. Links work there. This is where I would put all your realtor friends if you want to put like a referral-based thing. You can also do that with Facebook by creating a second private group and putting it out there just for your realtor partners across the nation and have your realtor friends there. Because if you're out of sight, out of mind, I don't do anything on this. A lot of people think that's where it is. That's where you do your business to business. I agree. But I would not. So here's the thing. Why are you wasting time talking to your competitors? That doesn't make sense to me. When that opportunity could have been made to go talk to a potential client, a friend of a friend, the clients that you're currently working with. The reason we do that is we talk to our competitors because we feel comfortable. But guess what? The moment you become uncomfortable is when you really grow in your business. Not only that, you grow as a person and you can have fun doing it again. So when you do these understanding and you're building out the kind of stuff and you're having fun doing this, you can accomplish any goal that you want. Just slow down and build out these step by step. Get into the training portal, create your content the right way. Create the way that you need your layout, how it needs to be, where you work, your phone number, all this kind of stuff. Have your branding correctly. That's what's important, is when people come to these platforms, it's what's important. What are they going to see? I have not, and since I own my company, signed up one person from LinkedIn. Not one. I get some of the stupidest messages I've ever seen in my life from people on that are in our community. And I'm like, I do not know how you're in our business. It's crazy to me. That's why, because they're not a person. They act like robots on LinkedIn. They need to be all professional, and I'm in my shirt and tie and my suit. Dude, no one cares. At the end of the day, when they come to your platform, they just want to know who you are, how they can have fun working with you, and what's in it for them. I mean, that's really what you guys do. When you go buy a shirt, or you buy clothes, or you buy a car, you buy it because there's a purpose. These people are buying and selling homes with you. Make it an experience. Have fun with them, but understand how you generate leads through your sales funnels, through your stories, through your posts, through your conversations, through content video that you're putting out. How you can simplify to get time back through YouTube. Guys, you guys are just overcomplicating and overthinking it all the time. You have things to do every single day. You're just saying I'm busy because you haven't built and slowed down to be like, you know what? I can take time. Look, if I have as many clients as I have and you never hear the word that comes out of my mouth as I'm busy, then that's because what I do is I sacrifice going out and hang out with my friends that are never going to benefit me versus I stay home and I work, because eventually I'm going to get that time back. And then I can go travel the world and do the things. I'm with my kids and I'm doing the things that I want to do. When you build these sales funnels out, this is what's important. Is I understand we talk a lot of the business stuff, but what I would write down is I'd be like, what's going to be good for me when I'm building this out? How can I have fun doing this? How do I make this an experience for them? And that's honestly where you can really just, do what you want to do. So guys, thank you for tuning in today. Rewatch this video a million times. Have fun doing it. Have an amazing day. I thank you for the opportunity with you guys spending time with me, but go kick butt today, all right?